A woman walks into a gas station wearing a navy blue shirt, red pajama pants, slides, socks, and a bonnet. She carries a large bag over her arm. From the moment she enters, she avoids looking at the counter. She heads down the snack aisle and slows her pace. After a moment, she picks up a bright red bag of spicy crunchy curls. Then she walks towards the drink coolers. She opens the wrong cooler first, corrects herself, and grabs a bottle of water. She briefly looks at other chips, but doesn't take any. Instead, she walks to the fountain machine, fills the cup with ice, and then throws the cup away. Now she heads to the counter. Before getting in line, she quietly slips the bag of chips into her purse. It barely fits. The bright red packaging is still visible, so she shifts things around and pulls out some cash to look like a paying customer. She waits in line, scratching her ear, swaying slightly and glancing up at the cameras. For a moment, she freezes, clearly realizing how many cameras are watching. At the counter, she pays for the water and puts money in a gas pump, but security has already seen everything. As soon as she goes outside, the gas shuts off. She comes back in, claiming she already had the chips when she entered. She offers a small amount of money, trying to end it quickly. The store doesn't accept the excuse. The cameras caught every move. The attempt fails, and the theft is stopped before she can leave. At another gas station, a woman walks in with confidence. She immediately checks the counter to see if the cashier is distracted. She then pulls out her phone and starts tapping on it while walking slowly through the store. She scratches her arm. She scratches her face. All of it is meant to look casual. She heads to the fountain drink area and grabs a large cup. She looks at it and shakes her head, then puts it back and picks up a medium cup instead. She fills it, pours some out, and adjusts the lid. She talks to her passenger the whole time, acting relaxed. She looks directly at the camera for a moment, then quickly looks away. She sets her drink down in the chip aisle and grabs a bottle of vodka. She checks the counter again. Then she hides the bottle in her bag and picks her drink back up. At the counter, she tells the cashier she's having trouble with her card and that it might decline. She drags the moment out, acting stressed. Then she walks out without paying. But the cashier has been watching the whole time. He stops her outside and tells her to wait for the police. She pretends she doesn't understand. She laughs. She asks why. Then, she suddenly runs. Up next, a band member hiding vodka. An employee follows a thief to a van. A couple stealing Red Bulls and candies. Stay with us and subscribe. A young man wearing Crocs and socks walks into another gas station with his friend. He looks up at the counter twice, long enough to judge if anybody's paying attention. He jokes loudly and acts carelessly, hoping no one takes him seriously. He heads towards the coolers and grabs a bottle of vitamin water. Then he wanders into the candy aisle, touching different items and making a mess of the shelf. He spots a Cliff Bar and checks the counter again. The cashier's busy. The Cliff Bar disappears into his pocket. He waits patiently in line while his friend pays for items. He stands there calmly as if nothing happened. When it's done, he heads for the door. Outside, a gas station employee stops him. The worker asks what's in his pocket. The young man plays dumb. He argues. He laughs. He insults the worker and pretends the accusation is ridiculous. The worker doesn't back down. He tells the man to sit and wait for the police. The young man keeps talking, saying he'll just pay for it now. The worker explains that's not how it works. The theft was caught on camera. The man realizes he didn't just steal a snack. He picked the wrong gas station, one with clear cameras and staff who were paying attention. Another man walks into a gas station with the easy confidence of someone who thinks he blends in. He's traveling with a band, killing time between stops, and he treats the store like a quick pit stop. He drifts toward the alcohol shelf and studies the bottles, talking excitedly about drinking later and joking to himself as he looks them over. At one point, he looks straight at the security cameras and laughs it off, clearly convinced no one is actually paying attention. He picks up a bottle of vodka, checks the label, and then casually slides it down the front of his pants, adjusting his shirt to hide the shape. He doesn't rush. He keeps moving like nothing unusual just happened. Now hungry, he wanders through the aisles and grabs a granola bar as well, slipping it into his pocket. At the counter, he pulls out cash and holds it in his hand, even though he has no intention of paying. he asks the cashier a random question, using it as a distraction while he slowly backs toward the exit. Then he walks out of the store and head towards the van parked outside, thinking the plan worked. But an employee has been watching the cameras. She follows him outside and confronts him near the van. At first, he denies stealing anything and acts confused. When pressed, he admits to taking the vodka. The employee tells him that it isn't all and insists he come back inside. Reluctantly, he returns to the store and is made to pay for the vodka he tried to hide. The granola bar is still unpaid, but the situation isn't brushed aside. The cameras captured everything from start to finish. A man walks into a gas station and pauses near the counter. He glances up, checking who's working and who might be watching. Everything looks calm, so he heads toward the aisles. He starts by looking at the drink coolers, opening and closing doors as if he can't decide what he wants. Water and juice don't interest him. He circles back to the soda coolers and studies the options. He grabs a Mountain Dew, then puts it back. He picks up a Sunkist instead and finally settles on that. His movements are slow and casual like any other customer. Then he makes one more stop. He walks to the Red Bull cooler. The cashier turns away for a moment. That's all the time he needs. He opens the door, grabs a small Red Bull, and slips it into his pocket. He walks out of the store and heads to his car. He hands the Sunkist to his wife and starts pumping gas. But inside, the cashier notices something odd. The man went to the Red Bull cooler, but never paid for one. The cashier checks the cameras and sees everything. The gas pump is shut off. Outside, the man keeps squeezing the handle, confused about why nothing is happening. His wife complains that the soda tastes flat. He decides to go back inside to complain. He waits for his turn and then brings up the drink and the gas problem. That's when the cashier tells him the truth. He's been stopped for shoplifting. The man naturally denies everything at first, but then he changes his story and says that he already had the Red Bull when he entered the store. The cashier plays it cool and doesn't argue. He says it's all on camera and tells the man to wait for the police. The man gets angry. He demands that he get his money back, and he says that he doesn't care about waiting for the police. He and his wife argue with the cashier, then suddenly leave and drive off. They think it's all over, but the cameras recorded everything.